Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
And thanks for joining us. Welcome to it. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter and Instagram.
And
YouTube.
Yes.
YouTube.com/Pat Gray, where you want to sign up. Because we always have... You just put, you click the bell or something.
Yeah, you
right?
click the bell because that way you get updated or notified. Yeah. Every time you go hot with something new.
Yep, and that's a lot, right? You're doing that all the time, Chris.
And by the way, you 30% that are not subscribed and watch our channel, just subscribe.
Yeah, what's
just
that
subscribe.
all about?
Just
subscribe.
Hit the subscribe button. Stop
Please.
watching.
We won't change your long distance service without your authorization.
Not in the first
6 months.
Yeah.
Promotional period. During this promotional period, we will not change it.
We don't hound you. We don't send them anything, do we?
No, we don't.
No.
So, there's no reason not to.
Yeah.
Right?
So stop.
So
just subscribe. 30% of you.
If you would. That would be great. It helps us out a lot.
Sure does.
Makes the show available to a lot more people, and that's what we need. We desperately need that. Everybody needs that. Everybody needs to listen to the show and participate.
That's so true, though.
Right?
And again, you've done this whole open talking about your social media.
Yep.
And didn't even give Threads love.
I know.
That's because it's so obvious that everybody's already there.
Good point.
Everybody's already on Threads.
Sure.
So why even bother?
You want to play a game this morning to start out?
Sure.
I think you'll like this.
All right.
We're going to call this, finally have a name for this, okay? It's Pat Predicts. Now, normally that's going to be a story that Joe Biden tells. This time, we're going to do a thing where Pat predicts, does Joe Biden, show the video here. Let's get it started here. So here's Joe leaving the White House. Okay. Pat predicts.
Right. I predict.
Is Joe Biden going to do his stupid-ass fake jog on the pavement or the grass? You have a 50-50 chance here.
Oh.
What do you got here? Pavement or grass? Because he's about to approach the road there. Is he going to start running on the grass, on the pavement, the grass the other side? What do you got?
It's a tough one.
It's a tough one.
It's a tough one. I'm going to say pavement.
Pavement. Let's go. Joe, what does he do?
Are you worried Putin could use nuclear weapons?
Yeah, it did start on the pavement because it started on the pavement.
Was there a hill he had to go up there once he gets to the grass? What's the issue? And boy, he cannot walk.
No, he's very stiff. He's terrible. All right, go back to the beginning. Let's watch that one more time because
he's spry, right?
So crazy.
Are you worried?
Look at this. Is there a hill there? Is there a seam? Is there anything he has to?
Nope.
There's nothing.
There's nothing to negotiate there. No.
Are you worried Putin could use
Are you worried? Do you think you'll collapse at any moment? Are you worried that you look like a 1,000-year-old man? Are you worried that you're gonna get your ass kicked in November?
That reporting is just to shut up. My goodness.
It's so obnoxious. But yeah, look at that. Look at his gait. Don't tell me that's and his doctor tried to tell us. It's no worse than last year. Yeah, it is.
See how it cuts off right here? I don't know if he's going to salute the Marine or not, but I think...
Probably not.
I think he's like, maybe if the Marine doesn't look over here, I won't have to salute him or something. I don't know what goes through that old man's brain.
Yeah, who knows?
Oh, he's dreadful.
Who knows? I do know this. His approval rating just hit its lowest level of all time. So while the leftist media loved his hate-filled anti-American lies at the State of the Union address, but the people, not so much. His approval rating currently stands at 37.4%, lowest since he recorded an average. Now, that's the average approval rating. 37%? It was 37.6% in December, and now, so it's even lower than that. After that fabulous, electric State of the Union address that the mainstream media praised so much. Oh my gosh, they loved it. They thought it was the best ever. While we all know it was the absolute worst State of the Union ever given. So his disapproval rating is at 56.5%. So that's a net disapproval. He's underwater 19.2 points, almost 20 points underwater. The average ratings come amid long-standing concerns Biden has faced about his struggling poll numbers, lack of enthusiasm. On Tuesday night, of course, Biden and Trump were both confirmed as the nominees in their respective parties. So sets up the fabulous rematch that we've all been waiting for. Biden's low approval rating comes close on the heels, of course, of recent polls suggesting that potential voters were encouraged by his State of the Union address. Yes. Yeah, that's a figment of the media's imagination.
Because remember, we played on Overtime earlier this week that montage that shows that he's been ripping off his own speech for 4 years.
Yeah.
The difference when you see the clips from 21, 22, 23, 24 is this go around, the added spice was how angry he was.
Oh, yeah.
That was the
So
difference
angry.
this go around, but my gosh, he's
Crazy.
just terrible.
Yeah, he's the worst. Speaking of the worst, that TikTok bill, which I initially thought, okay, yeah, I don't want him spying on us. Maybe we should ban this. Apparently, it contains some Trojan horse language in there.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Could be used against us.
Mm-hmm.
Who was it that told us that?
Well, a lot of people are reporting it now, but the first I saw it, and we mentioned yesterday, was Thomas Massey.
Yep.
And Thomas Massey voted against the bill, along with some other.
He was one of the
few voices, but the Trojan horse you're talking about is something that allows the president. It's this strange thing where websites could be banned. It's not just this TikTok app. It's worded as such because that's what bureaucrats do. Mm-hmm. They word it as such as to give them more power than less power, and it's dangerous. It's very dangerous.
Yeah, it could wind up, going against the Blaze or Daily Wire or whoever they want. Supposedly, I don't know. I've read both sides of that where they can't, and I've read that they can.
Well, I will
but
say,
it has to meet certain conditions, apparently.
Yeah.
But who decides on those conditions? Probably the president.
The loose definition of foreign entity there is the problem.
Yes.
But remember when Trump tried to ban it, and then Democrats were like, "No, what are you talking about?" And of course now Democrats are trying to ban it, and Trump is like, "No, what are you talking about?" I'm sure it has nothing to do with someone associated with TikTok visiting him recently at Mar-a-Lago. It has nothing to do with that.
No, I'm sure not.
Donor to the Republican Party?
Huh.
No.
Okay.
Politics, man.
It passed by, 352 to 50 something?
Wasn't even close.
It was a blowout. So, I mean, the Senate's going to have to at least take it up, I would think, with an overwhelming vote like that.
Can we, Carol Roth made a good point on Twitter last night. It was glad Congress is worried about the CCP affiliated ownership of an app and not, U.S. farmland and other real estate.
I know, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great point. They don't seem to be worried about that at all.
No, it's states that are doing that at least.
Yeah.
But you'd like to see the federal government at least show interest in keeping them away from our maybe military bases.
You sure would like to see that. You really would. So I don't know. This TikTok thing is a little bit frightening. Man, they are trying. They're trying desperately to just remove any opposition to their agenda. They want to shut down talk radio. They want to shut down conservatives, Republicans. They want the public forum all to themselves, and they've been working on that for years now, trying to make that happen. Here's what Nancy Pelosi had to say about the bill.
First of all, this is not a ban on TikTok. I'm a grandmother of teenagers. I understand the entertainment value, the educational value, the communication value, the business value for some business on this. This is not an attempt to ban TikTok. It's an attempt to make TikTok better.
Listen to this.
Tic-tac-toe, a winner.
What?
The woman isn't real.
My
In case
gosh.
you're listening, you're missing tic-tac-toe, a winner. And then she does her hand in a diagonal motion, because I guess that's how she goes for tic-tac-toe. She is not...
Weird.
Gosh. But it
bizarre.
does ban it. You've got 6 months to
sell it.
Yeah.
Or it's banned.
So stop. That's exactly what it is.
And now it heads over to the Senate, where Rand Paul had this to say about the bill.
If you don't like what they do on TikTok or Facebook or Google, don't use them. All of these internet companies take up information. And so I think if you destroy TikTok, you may well make its competitors bigger. Some of the people up here lobbying to destroy TikTok are actually their competitors. So this isn't just about, we're against communism. If you don't like TikTok, don't use them. But realize that in China, they've banned TikTok. So we're going to somehow defeat the Chinese model by becoming like the Chinese and banning TikTok here. Look, people should use them or not use them. That's what happens in capitalism.
Yeah.
Private business.
Yeah. There's a lot to that. I know. There really is.
And what happened the last time that we mimicked the China model? Does anybody remember COVID-19, masks, lockdowns, anything like that come to mind?
What do you mean?
Gosh.
No, that doesn't sound familiar at all.
Okay, sorry.
And a TikTok influencer has spoken out about the Biden administration's invitation to the State of the Union address.
Joe Biden invited 70 influencers to view his State of the Union address in order to...
I was one of the 70 influencers that was invited, so let me spill the tea with you. I got this message, I want to say on Monday night. So I got an email from an agency, and I saw the people that were CC'd on, and I didn't recognize any of the other email addresses that were CC'd onto this invite. So essentially, they were like, we'd love to have you at this like watch party, blah, 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 but they just said it was like a watch party for the State of Union address, blah, 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 whatever it's called. So I'm not super political on this platform for one reason. I care about work-life balance. I care about employee conditions while they're working, right? That typically doesn't really have a political party attached to it. I personally am not attached to a political party in my personal life as well, so I'm not going to pander to one side. It also creates exclusion in this community where there could be people of all political spectrums following me. And it's important that I'm creating a healthy space for all of them to talk about work, because the main concept here is to talk about the frustrations of corporate America, not to get into all the other stuff, right? Yeah. So I was like on the fence, so I just kind of like give these neutral responses, whatever. I keep getting like more information. 24 hours before the State of the Union address is when Biden, which is what this original creator was talking about, was when Biden was like, yo, if TikTok is going to get banned, I would totally sign on that. Hard stop, right? I was like, oh, no, absolutely not. After Biden has used TikTok to campaign certain things recently anyway, so I was like, you're full of crap. So I don't go, right? And I just kind of leave it on red. And then right at that time, too, the agency was like, here's all the concept briefs of your posting. And so that's something that we do as influencers. When we have brand deals and we have sponsorships, we have these things called concept briefs. And it's all these approved talking points that we can make videos about afterwards. I didn't know that posting was like asked. It wasn't asked in the original invite. Felt really gross about it. So I was like, oh, is there like a budget for this? Like this has to be like wildly talked about with my team. Like we're not really going through this like right now, an hour before the event. This is crazy. So they're like, no, we don't have a posting requirement. We just really encourage everyone to do that. So then I've been getting emails like since the event to like post on one of these talking points. Haven't answered any of them. So on all platforms that I have, TikTok and Instagram and all these things, right? I have about a little bit over 400K followers. Pretty small in the grand scheme of public figures that you all know today. So if you think about my size of following, I was invited to this to basically boost Joe Biden and his voice. Think about the people that you look up to that are high public figures that all of a sudden get into political activism. Think about if it's actually authentic or not, or if they're getting things out of it, they're being celebrated to do that, they're being paid to do that, right? Think about that. So sometimes when we go, oh, well, you have a platform, you should be using it. I don't really know if I care what Taylor Swift, Selena Gomez, etc. really cares about politically, and they're probably not doing it in an authentic way. Just food for thought.
Yeah, it is food for thought. How about that?
So the Biden administration invites 70 social media influencers. She's relatively small with 400,000. But if you had 70 people invited, like she said, multiplied at least 400,000 each.
Yeah, millions and
you
millions.
Have 28 million people out there going, my gosh, did you see that awesome speech by Joe Biden? I mean, this is your propaganda wing going
That's
full
interesting, yeah.
And by the way, Harry Stisson and Chris Maury, what do you want to call it?
Yeah.
They were both there.
Yeah, of course they were.
They were both there.
Of course they were, because they're paid to be there. So, yeah, they're going to earn their keep, I guess.
It's a good gig.
Man, don't believe anything.
Incredible.
And this is what freaks out the left when people like Elon Musk purchase a major platform like Twitter because then they don't have unfettered access to control the narrative. And kudos to that chick. I don't know who you are, what you do, what you talk about.
Never seen her before,
but thank you for
good for her
pulling back the veil and going, take a look at what Biden administration been reaching out to us influencers to give them some good pub after that crappy speech.
Yeah,
thank you.
That's awesome. And she cares about all of her followers, not just the left-wing followers. Right. I like that. Smart business person. All right, when you absolutely have to buy or sell a home, let's face it, it's tough. And you don't want to do it alone. You don't want to face it with, somebody's nephew who just got into realty and they want to try their hand at buying or selling your house. No.
But he's really good, though.
No.
It will boost his confidence.
That's not your responsibility to boost his confidence. You want somebody with a proven track record, somebody who's sold homes, somebody who has gotten others the most home for their money. I mean, you want somebody who's really successful. And those are the realtors at Real Estate Agents I Trust. This is a company Glenn created. His people really vet these agents very carefully so that you're provided with only the best in your area. We get you together, and then the rest is up to you. And it's a free service that we provide. They're fans of the show. They're really good at what they do. I think you're going to love this. Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name says it all. realestateagentsitrust.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
So Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen sat down for an interview where she was asked about inflation because it's transitory, right? That's what we heard from her a few years ago. What, a year or two ago? Transitory.
3 years ago.
So it's been 3 now? Wow.
That's the hell we're in.
Here's what she had to say.
In 2021, you did say that inflation was transitory. Do you regret saying that now?
I regret saying it was transitory. It has come down, but I think transitory means a few weeks or months to most people.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And instead, it's been 3 years, the entire duration of the Joe Biden administration. So thank you for that. She also discussed the purchasing power of Americans under Joe Biden.
Prices are higher than when President Biden came into office. What do you say to the family that's having to use their credit card to pay for food or possibly could lose their home because of debt that they've accumulated with the higher prices?
Well, I think the single most important metric to judge how households are doing is their spending power, their real wages or real earnings, namely their earnings adjusted for inflation.
Yeah, we did that yesterday. It wasn't pretty.
No,
it was down like 4%, right?
Yes,
where it was purchasing power was up 8% under Trump.
Right.
I got some more fun facts for her. Credit card debt is, she said, is a normalization rather than a disturbing new trend.
Okay, a normalization.
Yeah, that's
interesting term.
Scary to hear.
Yeah,
when someone like the Secretary of the Treasury says that, you know it's even worse.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to say as bad as it really is. Credit scores are down.
Yeah. Okay.
Now
wages are down.
Yeah.
Credit scores are down.
Yeah. Your
debt is up.
Yeah. Your credit score was actually lower. I talked about this on my YouTube channel, as a matter of fact, where they actually were lower back in 2008 than they are now. Now I think they're down to 712, something like that, average. And during 2008, during the crisis, the housing crisis and everything, 682 is where we bottomed out.
Wow.
So it could get worse, and it's going to if credit card debt is up.
Yes. She was also asked when the economy is going to improve.
Oh, cool. Yes.
But if you go back and look at month over month, December, January, and February, it showed an increase of inflation. Is inflation coming back?
Well, look, inflation is down almost 2/3 from the high it reached in 2022. And the trend is clearly a favorable one. I wouldn't expect this to be a smooth path month to month, but the trend is clearly favorable. That said, President Biden's top priority is addressing the issue of high costs that concern so many Americans.
Yeah. Okay.
How
is it favorable? It's still going up, woman.
I don't know. And it's up over 18% since he took office.
But again, she said it's not going to be a smooth transition.
Yeah, so it's going to keep going up is what she's really telling us.
Wow.
It's going to keep going up, so get used to it. Just get used to it. At least, here's the thing. It's not 40%.
Thank you.
We're not experiencing, like hyperinflation of 40 or 50%. So just consider yourself lucky and shut up. Vice President Kamla Harris was asked about the high cost of rent across the nation, and here's what she said.
Rent is up in like 47 of the 50 biggest cities in the country. Like, how do you fight the bad vibes? And then how do you beat Donald Trump with such economic headwinds?
No one wants to hear an econ lecture, and I appreciate that.
Oh, you could do that.
We have actually corrected a lot of what was heading in a really bad direction during COVID in terms of unemployment, for example. Over 10 million people were unemployed. We've created over 14 million new jobs. Unemployment is at historic record lows, somewhere around less than 4% unemployment. Wages have now outpaced inflation. Those are the facts.
No,
okay?
Those are not facts. Those are lies that they keep telling. They keep claiming the 14 or 15 million new jobs created. That is untrue. It's a lie. And the Washington Post, the New York Times, everybody, even on their side, has admitted it.
Yeah.
It's a lie. Stop saying it.
And speaking of 2008, did you see how she kind of mixed in that, look, it could have been so much worse if we didn't get in there and do what we did.
Yes.
Okay, because remember in 2008, it was going to be worse than the Great Depression if we don't completely suspend the free market system.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Bush said even. We had to abandon the free market in order to save the free market. I guess I don't have that. Do I have that? I don't know. Apparently not. Oh, no. Thought I had that. Look, we had to abandon the free market principles to save the free market. So that's what we had to do. Then you look at these numbers regarding illegal aliens coming into the country, and you just think, wow, we're in really good shape.
Doing good,
now.
right?
We're doing well. The economy sucks right now. Then you got Venezuelan migrants pouring across the border. We had this is fiscal year 2023, the entire border.
This is just Venezuelan migrants, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Just from Venezuela, 335,000 encounters. 335,000 and a whopping.
Oh, we got them all out of here, all 335,000.
Well, not quite all, but man,
Most
so
right?
close. 834 were deported.
I'm sorry. Hold on. You were really bold when you said 335,000 illegal Venezuelans were in here in 2023.
834 were deported.
You're mumbling.
Got them right out of here.
You're mumbling.
Bam!
34.
Yeah, we got rid of those 834 people.
That's not even worth getting the calculator out to see what percentage. Go back, because the point that you always make, put that up, Joe. Pat, you rightfully always say, we've got enough criminals. We've got enough crime. We've got enough issues in this country. Look at the graphic at the bottom. Illegal migrant from Venezuela kills 12-year-old boy in car crash.
Jeez.
We don't need this extra burden on our
These are people
on our
who
country.
Otherwise would be alive if it weren't for the people who aren't supposed to be here being here. And yet, the excuse is every time they just use this last week. Well, we got plenty of murderers here, too. We had killers in this country. Yeah, right. We don't need more.
Joe did the math on the Venezuela exporting of these illegals.
So out of 335,000, deporting 834, what percentage is that?
0.002%.
0.002, not bad.
We are in hell.
That's pretty close. So 0.002%.
0.002 of it.
Good. Okay.
Oh, hold on a second.
Right.
Do we have this? Because I love this. You know how now the Democrats are just big on don't you dare say the word illegal.
Oh,
and they're mad at Biden, and we have a great montage that we're going to get to here. But can we just put this up real quick from Pat Head enjoying oxygen? Did I send this in? Yeah. He's like, I can just picture the Democrats scrambling to shuffle Joe Biden out in front of a microphone so that he can angrily declare that no fish is illegal. Look at the headline there.
Fed sees 1,250 pounds of illegal fish in Texas waters.
They were upset because Mexican fishermen were illegally fishing in U.S. waters. So that sets them off. But, oh my gosh, this world is insane.
That's crazy. So yesterday, Democrats in Congress were asked about Biden's use of the word, illegals. Asked about that situation. Here's what happened. Here's what they said.
Do you think President Biden should have used the term illegal in his State of the Union address?
I think that President Biden should refer to people with dignity and respect.
Should you call them illegal or undocumented? And that's really up to you, how you feel.
Do you think it was appropriate for the president to use the term illegal in the State of the Union?
No, and he addressed that.
Why is it wrong for someone to call someone that entered the country illegally an illegal immigrant?
Because it's classifying the human being and no human being is illegal.
No, it's not. Oh, jeez, I can't. I can't.
I tell you
by the way, there's a Texas school district that says undocumented is no better than illegal. So they don't want you to even use that term.
Well, yeah, because no human is undocumented.
Right.
Pat. We know this.
Right. This is so asinine. Why do we have to worry so much about offending them when they don't have to worry about offending us?
Nope.
By breaking our laws, by stealing identities, by committing tax evasion. They don't have to worry about any of it. Are you okay with us if we break your law and sneak across your border illegally? I don't worry about offending you that way, but you better not call me an illegal. So asinine.
Yeah. And
I can't stand it.
We know that there are millions upon millions of illegals that are in this country. Illegally. But I know that yesterday Fox News had a report that said that more than 1.8 million known gotaways. So these are just what they have set eyes on, got away from them, 1.8 million in the last 3 years. We know it's much higher than that. I got it. And then they know hundreds of those were known gang members. But we're good.
That's fine.
We're good.
There's never. But don't call them illegals.
No, don't call them illegal. And they'll, of course,
that's what we're going to focus on, for the love of heaven.
Never be a reckoning for this, right? They're in here, all of them, for a better life, just to be hard workers.
Right.
We're never going to have any kind of issue with any of them. That's for sure. Oh, wait, we already have.
A lot of issues.
Yep.
But they're a net gain. I mean, they're bringing us so much more than they're taking from us. I mean, we can all see that, right? Ask New York how they're doing with that equation. See if that's going really well for them. Are you enjoying the income that's pouring in from these illegal aliens? I think they are, right? I think that's a net gain of billions of dollars in New York City. And that's why they're loving it so much and saying, hey, send us more. It's really good for our economy. Send us more. They're doing the jobs that no American will do. They're bringing in revenue. This is fantastic. Give us more. Yeah, I don't hear anybody saying that. Not in New York, not in Boston, not in Chicago, Denver, anywhere in the country that this is happening, and they're experiencing it in a, I guess, more intense way than they ever have in the past. They don't seem to be loving it. They do not seem to be loving it.
It is the greatest.
It's the best.
It's the greatest in my 47 years. The greatest thing the Republican Party has ever done.
By far. By far. And for that, I thank you, Greg Abbott. I think he's done a great job with that. And it has woken people up. You talk about being woke. He's definitely awakened to this illegal alien situation. I'm sorry, the undocumented.
Yeah, you got to watch this,
I'm sorry, the uninvited citizens.
Yeah,
what should we call them?
Yeah, unwanted? Unwanted?
No, unwanted. No human
whoa.
being is unwanted. Well, except for all the babies they're aborting.
There you go.
Fair point. If anybody can do it, this audience can do it. What is the PC term? What should we call these?
The universally accepted term for people who have come here illegally.
I don't want to say illegals
Americans.
because it's so wrong.
Americans.
Okay, Americans.
Oh, I got it. Democrat voters.
Yeah.
Democrat voters.
Democrat voters.
They certainly do want to call them that. I'll tell you that. There's no doubt about that.
Wow.
All right, 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
President Biden's approval rating ranks right up there with jock itch.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right, some tweets here. The Banana Republic of America tweets, to answer your question, Keith, air. Air is the answer to what goes through Biden's brain.
Yeah.
Air.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
Constitutional nobody. When did the government go from protecting our rights to micromanaging every decision we make? Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while now.
Progressive era.
Mm-hmm. Frank Johnson's alter ego, it's not TikTok, it's the parents that allow their kids to use it. Individual liberties mean individual responsibility and accountability. There's a lot to that, yes. Carolina Bulldog, first they came for TikTok, but I wasn't on TikTok, so I didn't speak out. Then they came for, sounds familiar, huh? Sure does, yeah. Kenneth Parker, we need more power to the Fourth Amendment. The right of the people's privacy should not be violated by government or private institutions serving the public. We are data slaves.
Yeah. And somebody made the case, you know how we often mock, the Third Amendment?
Mm-hmm.
And
quartering soldiers.
I don't want to quarter, soldiers. Yeah. And we think, we just laugh it off.
Right.
And somebody made the point a long time ago when the NSA thing was going on. Well, still going on. News for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, hey, a case could be made that that's the government in your home.
Right.
That's the government inside your life. And
I think about that all the time.
And obviously, the founding fathers, everyone talks about how important the First Amendment and Second Amendment were. Look how high they put them on the list. Well, they put that number 3.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they weren't sitting around thinking about the internet or your smartphone, but if the left wants to adjust the Second Amendment based on technology, let's do that with the Third.
Absolutely. Pikapool, the leadership leading Pokemon. Joe's approval rating is 37%. What a coincidence. The percentage of U.S. Americans who are butt stupid is also 37%.
Yeah, the math checks out there.
It does. It really does. Bunter Hayden, crack connoisseur. Approval ratings mean nothing. He'll win 120 million votes this time.
Oh, my gosh. I can't wait to see what that magic number is going to be this time.
Not of this world. Too bad the Democratic Party isn't transitory.
Oh, yeah.
That's for sure.
I like it.
Oh, man. Did you see that this whole line this administration is walking with Israel and the Palestinians is absolutely absurd? Antony Blinken just said that protecting civilians must be job number 1 for Israel in the Gaza Strip. Okay. What?
Go away, man.
What? Okay, protecting the Gazan civilians is their main job? I can't even say what is going through my mind right now. But it...
kudos to Benjamin Netanyahu. How do you stay civil?
It ends in you.
When you see it.
It ends in you. There's a word before that. But that's what I would tell him if I were in the Israeli administration right now.
A, B, C, D, E, F?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
That would come before it? I seriously, this is where if I were in Benjamin Netanyahu's shoes, walking that fine line, I don't think I could do it.
I couldn't. I couldn't.
I'd be calling up America.
He's a better man than I am because I couldn't do it.
We're like, y'all need to stop talking about Israel over there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean... You think that Israel's first job shouldn't be protecting their own citizens? That's job number 1, and that's why they're doing the job they're doing in Gaza right now. Mm-hmm. Because they had 1,200 civilians slaughtered in one day. So they went in there to do job 1, and that's protect themselves and their own people. That is job number 1 for them. Now, job number 1 for Hamas or whoever's in power right now, and it's Hamas, in the Gaza Strip, their job is to protect their civilians, not Israel's. And you know what? They're still doing a pretty dang good job of it, too, because they send out the flyers. They tell them where they're going to bomb. They suggest you leave because we're going to be bombing this area. We don't want to hurt anybody. If you don't want anybody hurt here, you need to go. You need to leave. They've been doing that. They've been allowing food and water and supplies to pour into the Gaza Strip as much as they can under the circumstances. They're allowing the United States to build the port there in the Gaza Strip so that we can. They're building a pier so that more help can arrive. I mean, it's unbelievable the steps and the measures they're taking to protect Gazans when that's not even their first job. And still they're getting this kind of feedback from the U.S. administration. It's pathetic. I don't know how they do it. How are we still friends? How are we still allies? Because I would have told us to go pound sand a long time ago. I really would have. I mean, the initial support that he was giving Israel, he's gotten so much flack from the left and from all the Hamas supporters that's out the window now. He's almost not even pretending to be supporting Israel.
Yeah.
He's trying so hard to bend over backwards for the Palestinians now that he's basically their ally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then
it's pathetic.
Yesterday we had more pro-Hamas supporters showing up to inconvenience people's lives. This time it was the San Francisco airport where more than 200 people blocked. Clip 15, Joe. Thank you. There we go. How would you like to be headed to your flight and have to try to get
the world for Gaza?
Get around these people that are blocking the security.
Oh my gosh!
Get out of my face! Get out of my face!
I think an accidental elbow might wind up in one of their faces if I was there. Just accidentally, because I need a lot of room around me.
Sure. It's totally understandable.
Huh.
Look at these.
Stop arming Israel. Stop the world for Gaza.
I
can't stand it.
I'm getting right through there. Screw you.
Such idiocy.
Oh my gosh, wait a minute. You said such idiocy. Were you talking about the pro-Hamas supporter or the guy in the mask there at the end?
All of the above. That's amazing. Wow. Jeez. So, did people miss their flights as a result of those buffoons?
I don't know, but I bet some elbows flew.
I'll bet.
Like you said.
Yeah. I mean, people have places to go, people to see, business to conduct.
But you also make the point every time we see something like this, do you ever see something like that and go,
oh, yeah, you're right.
Now,
I'm on your side now.
Okay.
No way.
Okay.
No way. It just makes it worse. If you're inconveniencing me, if you're stopping me from getting to a business appointment or go on vacation or whatever I'm trying to do, and you're in my way now, that doesn't make me support your cause. It's really stupid.
Mm-hmm.
It's
maddening.
But, I mean, they're not super intelligent people because of whose side they're on right now. That tells you everything you need to know right there.
Keep expectations low.
Yeah, for sure. Did you see that the judge dismissed some charges against Donald Trump in the Georgia election interference case? Some of the charges went right out the window. A little bit embarrassing to the prosecution. Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee quashed 6 counts in the indictment, including 3 against Trump. But the judge left in place other counts, including 10 that Trump is facing.
How many did he drop?
6.
6?
Including 3 against Trump.
So what's Trump down to, 88 cases now against him?
Right around there,
okay.
Yeah.
Charges, yeah.
The ruling's a blow for Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis. Fannie, be tender with our love, won't you? Who already is facing an effort to have her removed from the prosecution over her romantic relationship with her colleague, of course. It's the first time charges in any of Trump's 4 criminal trials have been dismissed. And hopefully it won't be the last, but who knows? I was kind of surprised that this happened because these judges all seem to be squarely against Trump. Seem to hate his guts and are doing the bidding of the Biden administration.
Apparently Republicans are against Trump as well. I saw a thing where there's a anti-Trump Republican group. What group is it? Republican Voters Against Trump. Oh my gosh. When you name your group, after the guy you're targeting,
Yeah.
stop it. They apparently are spending $50 million in a campaign to stop him from winning a second term in the White House. What are you trying to...
Are you trying to who? Support
That's what
Joe Biden?
Okay, maybe you had this angle when you had someone like Nikki Haley you wanted to support.
No.
Republican voters against Trump.
No, I'm sorry. You're not Republicans. If you're trying to get Joe Biden elected, you're not Republicans.
That is...
No.
Oh, boy.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, there's this. Russia's Vladimir Putin has revealed an apparently previously unreported conversation with Donald Trump in which he claims the then American president let his jealousy of Joe Biden get the best of him in 2020.
This is hysterical.
In an interview with state-controlled media released yesterday, Putin appeared to suppress a smirk as he recalled the curious conversation when asked if expressing a preference for Biden to win in the 2024 vote could be seen as meddling in U.S. elections. Reiterating Moscow's oft-repeated claim that the Kremlin is not interfering in American elections in any way, Putin said that Trump, in the last year of his work as president, admonished me for the fact that I like Biden. This was more than 4 years ago. He told me that in one conversation. You want him to win. For Sleepy Joe to win. He told me this was when he was. He told me this when he was still president.
That's awesome.
So there's that.
You could totally see that happening.
Oh, no question.
And the people on the left are like, election interference. He's trying to get Russia's influence. Would you please stop? And by the way, I think we're missing the point there that Putin likes Biden. Hello? Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you want to talk about election interference from Russia or Russian collusion from a Democrat, from a president, let's go to Democrat Barack Obama. Please, we can't play this enough. With Dmitry Medvedev, the Russian president at the time, clip 10.
Last election, yeah. And after my election, I have more flexibility.
Oh.
Yeah, I understand. I transmit this information to Vladimir and Stanford.
Yeah.
Last election.
There we go. All right, we got it. Cool. There we go.
He's going to have more
flexibility.
More flexibility after the election. Sure. Okay.
Transmit this
to Vladimir.
That's
great.
And you see Vladimir saying that, we might use nukes. Yeah.
Yes.
If our sovereignty is threatened.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people are like, what an out of control. I'm sorry. If a leader doesn't threaten to use what they have at their disposal, if their sovereignty, what was the quote? The existence of the Russian state or our sovereignty and independence are threatened, then he would be derelict of duty.
Yeah.
I don't want him to use nukes, but of course you use the threat. Right?
Well, especially Putin. I mean, he doesn't have any problem doing that. He doesn't have...
That's the whole point. Strength...
There's no reason for him not to do that.
You project strength, period.
All right. Let me ask you this. Are you tired of the same old bland, boring breakfast cereals? The things that taste like cardboard? I'm not a big fan of that kind of stuff. And you might think back to your childhood and the delicious cereals you used to love when you were a kid. But now, maybe you're trying to eat better, you're trying to be healthier, and you don't want all the sugar and the carbs that came with those particular cereals. You grew up, your cereal didn't. Well, now it has. Thanks to Magic Spoon, they've reinvented your favorite childhood cereals to taste great, but each serving contains 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and 4 to 5 grams of net carbs per serving. So it's high in protein. It's gluten-free, it's grain-free, and soy-free. So it's a great way to relive those moments of watching your favorite cartoon on Saturday mornings. And just 140 calories per serving. Magic Spoon just launched 2 limited edition flavors, too. Oatmeal, cookie, and honey graham. These fresh-baked classics taste even better when mixed together. Oatmeal, cookie, and honey graham are only around for a limited time, so make sure you get them before they're sold out. Go to magicspoon.com/unleashed and get your custom bundle of the cereal and try the magic for yourself. Don't forget to add their limited edition honey graham and oatmeal cookie flavors. Be sure to use our promo code UNLEASHED at checkout and you'll save $5 off your order. Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, They'll just refund your money. No questions asked. So there's no risk here. Get your next delicious bowl of high-protein cereal at MagicSpoon.com. It really is so good. MagicSpoon.com/unleashed. Use the promo code UNLEASHED. Save $5. Thanks to Magic Spoon for sponsoring this episode.
Pat Gray is unleashed.
Yes, and welcome to it. So Adam Schiff was being interviewed, and of course he's running for U.S. Senate in California.
I saw a poll where he's leading.
So did I. Yeah, well, I think he wound up getting 250,000 more votes than Schiff did. But keep in mind, Schiff had, what, 2 other Democrats in the field?
Yeah, that's right.
So, I don't know that it means Garvey's going to win, but I mean, he's got a better chance than almost anybody has in the last 40 years in California.
We're hopeful.
Yeah, keep your fingers crossed. If you're in California, campaign for Steve Garvey. What a nightmare it would be if Adam Schiff became a U.S.
and
Senator.
you got to see this clip of his hypocrisy. Oh, my gosh.
Check this out.
One of your opponents, Katie Porter, a Democratic congresswoman, complained in her concession speech and since then on Twitter, saying her campaign had to withstand, quote, an onslaught of billionaires spending millions to rig this election. What's your reaction? Let me just state, that's not rigging an election. That's not what rigging an election is. Now, maybe she didn't like your tactics, but that's not rigging an election. What was your reaction to how she's handled her loss?
Well, first of all, she called and left me a message on Friday, very graciously congratulating me. So I want to acknowledge receiving that call. That term rigging of an election is a very specific term now in the Trumpian era, which suggests ballot stuffing, fraud, etc. All those false allegations attacking the integrity of our election system. No Democrat should be using that language. And what I think is notable is the Democratic Party quickly said, hey, no, you don't go there. Republicans, on the other hand, have embraced the big lie, continue to embrace it. There is a real, I think, incredible difference between the parties when it comes to defense of democracy, but we just do not use that language.
All right. Well, congratulations on the election, and hope to keep talking to you this election season.
Yeah,
and obviously, we're sending
out.
I
want to talk to Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton. She's been saying the same stuff.
All the Democrats have been saying that for 30 years.
They sure have. Yeah. Selected, not elected. That goes back all the way to the election of 2000.
That's a Republican thing. Democrats don't do that.
Jeez, oh, man. More coming up. Just a minute. Hang on.
The Biden administration sucks.
Pat Gray, Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
With some tweets here, Warren Wessel tweets, thanks for making the apocalypse fun.
Aw.
Ah, yeah. You're welcome. We're happy to do it.
That's what we do.
Yeah. Timothy Klein tweets, Kamala always looks like she's trying to explain her way out of a speeding ticket. Just making it up as she goes.
And what did she say? I'm not going to give everyone an econ lesson. Oh, no, we want that. Let's grab some popcorn and sit back and listen to this econ lesson from Kamala Harris.
One spooky pookie. Maybe foreign criminals would be the more accurate term than illegals. Okay. Mm-hmm. One and only tweets, if calling illegals is disrespectful, then perhaps so is the term poor for poor people. I suggest we begin calling them resource-challenged individuals.
Yes. And don't forget, homeless is urban outdoorsman.
Right. That's right. Fury and energy, proper names are terms for illegal immigrants. Better life pursuers, helpful hopefuls, freedom seekers. Best people ever.
That's it.
Angels.
Earth angels. That's the term we're going with.
Earth angels from elsewhere. Maybe that's our best term. Skevy 2075. If we have plenty of criminals and Venezuela is sending us theirs, let's correct this trade imbalance and send our criminals to Venezuela.
Ooh, yes.
Yes.
I like it.
Send them there. That would be great. It really would. Let me take a minute and tell you about this great new movie that's out called Cabrini. Have you seen this hit the theaters yet? Audiences and critics really love this. It's a must-see. 98% audience score.
Whoa.
91% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's based on the true story of one woman's fight for the equality, the health, and happiness of immigrant orphans back in the late 1800s. It's from Alejandro Monteverdi, the award-winning director of, The Sound of Freedom.
Oh, yeah.
So now he's got this powerful epic of Francesca Cabrini, who was an Italian immigrant. I think she's a nun, right? An Italian immigrant nun who arrives in New York City in 1889, and she's greeted by disease and crime and impoverished kids. Cabrini sets off on a daring mission to convince the hostile mayor to secure housing and health care for society's most vulnerable. With broken English, poor health, Cabrini uses her entrepreneurial mind to build an empire of hope, unlike anything the world had ever seen before. Left and right agree. Cabrini is a movie that all Americans can celebrate and love. It's a New York story, but more importantly, it's an American story. And it's in theaters right now. Get your tickets in advance online. Just visit angel.com/Pat. That's angel.com/Pat.
Pat Gray is unleashed.
Apparently there's a little problem, a little dust up with Don Lemon and Elon Musk.
Oh, no.
Don apparently had secured some sort of show on X.
Right.
And then Elon said, no, I'm going to pull the plug on that.
Well, yeah.
There was an interview,
Something
right?
happened, and Don explains here.
Oh,
boy.
Okay, so here's the explanation of what's going on between the two lovers.
Wait, hi, everyone. Elon Musk is mad at me. And I just put out a statement about what happened between him, me, and the interview that he is apparently so upset about. But make no mistake about this. This is going to be my first episode of the Don Lemon Show this coming Monday, March 18th, so make sure you tune in. This does not change anything about the show except for my relationship with Elon and X. And there's a whole lot that went down, and I'm going to tell you about in the coming days. I know, though, that many of you were not happy that I was doing this in the first place, and you told me so. I just want you to know that I did this deal because not only do I believe in free speech, but I believed that this was the best possible chance for the work that I'm doing to reach the largest amount of people. So speaking of free speech, right, I thought the first person interview, no brainer, Elon Musk, the man who calls himself a free speech absolutist. I asked him to do it. He willingly agreed to the interview. Throughout our conversation, I kept reiterating to him that although it was tense at times, I thought it was good for people to see and hear our exchange and that they would learn from our conversation, learn more about him, learn more about me. But apparently, free speech absolutism doesn't apply when it comes to questions about him from people like me. What did we talk about? Why is he so upset? Does he even have a reason to be upset? Make sure you watch it on Monday on YouTube and everywhere you listen to podcasts, and you can decide for yourself. You can even watch it on X because I'm still going to post it there, and I'm sure others will as well.
I bet it gets taken down 5 seconds after.
Oh, yeah.
Huh. I don't know.
Sure.
I'd be curious.
I think he asked him about ketamine and all that kind of stuff, and Elon apparently didn't like that. I think Elon takes ketamine, right?
Okay.
Which is, something that, he's on the spectrum. It's a drug that people on the spectrum use. It's a drug that depressed people use, and it helps. But I think there were some other drugs that he asked him about. We've seen Elon smoke pot with Joe Rogan. We know that he, so not exactly a teetotaler.
If I was granted time to interview Elon Musk, asking him about what drugs he uses is going to be like question 500 if we're still sitting there doing the interview.
Well, Lemon's trying to,
of course,
humiliate him. He is.
Wow.
Yeah, this whole thing about,
he's a free speech absolutist. I put that to the test.
Shut up. Since when?
By the way, I get report after report after report of people on Twitter, Pat heads, telling me that yes, Twitter is better for free speech now. But it seems like there's this weird, and Chris, maybe you have some insight on this. There's this weird blind spot or algorithm or something that doesn't like you talking about trannies, right?
Yeah.
What is that?
He even said it. He said the problem is that the code, all that stuff is so embedded in the code.
That's what I was wondering.
It's very difficult to just
remove
it.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
But he's aware of it, and usually big accounts like Libs of TikTok that I seen when they get banned or they get shadow banned, he immediately goes back and okay, no.
Okay.
But it's so he even said it's so deep in the code.
I thought that maybe it was that.
It just still grabs the whole
that's weird,
misgendering.
Man.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, well, no misgendering on Twitter until we get that fixed. Whatever.
And speaking of former CNN host, Chris Cuomo was a guest of Tucker Carlson and had some interesting things to say about January 6th. Watch this.
This is what I saw there. Insurrection is a crime. Okay, there's an Insurrection Act. You have a statute. You have the whole thing. There has never been an insurrection that was largely unarmed. Okay, and I know people are going to say they had fire extinguishers and sticks.
Yes!
If your intention is to take over the United States government, you're going to come heavy, you're going to come hard, you're going to be armed. This was
Pause it for a second. Okay, how many times have we said this? How many times have we made this point?
I know.
Is Chris Cuomo now listening to the show?
Pat Gray, is that you?
And then parroting it back to Tucker Carlson? Thank you. Now, where were you with this 3 years ago? Where were you that whole time when you were on the air on CNN? Why didn't you say that then? He's been exposed to some conservative thought.
Well, he's on News Nation
now apparently agrees with.
Is News Nation more down? Maybe you guys can chime in on Twitter or something, or Threads. We'll totally see it there. Is he kind of on News Nation? Just
being influenced by people?
Clips that I've seen, he just seems more down the middle now.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely does. Because we've played a few clips of him since News Nation, and he's different.
And that's the only clip that we pulled from that interview. We've seen the entirety of it. He goes on to
that was it?
Yeah. He goes on to actually, didn't he justify the shooting of Ashley Babbitt, I think?
No.
Or something like that.
Sorry.
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't send that one in.
By the way, Chris Cuomo also just joined Valuetainment, which is that conservative guy, Patrick David.
Oh, wow.
Who has that podcast that had Glenn, PDB. But it was announced, I believe it was yesterday, and people were giving him crap, Patrick, about, why are you, putting Chris Cuomo in your network?
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Someone did red pill him.
Yeah, I think so. Seems like it. I mean, yeah, it would be stupid. It would be asinine to show up for an insurrection unarmed. How are you going to take over the U.S. government, change our very system of government with a stick?
Flag?
You're going to, you're going to hit somebody over the head with a pole? I don't think so.
I found this unusually large branch out front. I am now your ruler. Stop.
Don't test me here, because I'll use this branch. I will. Well, I can't pick it up. But if I could, I'd use it.
Right.
Hold
on. That actually reminds me. Can we, because I didn't have this with anything else, can we play this Adam Morgan? So this guy is running for Congress out of South Carolina. And this is a great clip where he talks about, look, I'm beholden to my constituents, not special interests, blah, blah, blah. And this video is spreading like wildfire. I mean, it's a good video. It's not, it's good. And I hope this guy does get to Congress. I don't know who he's running against. I don't know. I have no idea. But when he's talking, maybe those in South Carolina, because I wasn't aware of this. I don't know if this is a new thing. I don't know. I was distracted in his 2 minutes of common sense by this. We just talked about the sticks and the whatever behind, and I'm your rule. Look at behind him. What is that, South Carolina?
The pressure in here in Columbia is for me to not even vote red on the board. Like y'all might not know this. A dark money entity that was created on Tuesday, the day after we voted.
Okay, but this is a good clip. This is a good clip, though.
A attack piece went out in my whole district about the fact that I voted for this. I get that the people in Columbia, that the lobby wants me to either not vote or to vote green on this. But my constituents want me to vote red, and they want their tax money spent on core government functions, on their roads, on their schools. That's what they want their money spent on. So, they don't want us in here trying to play this government planning thing where we in our bureaus can figure out where the job should be, who should be employed, how much money should be allocated where in the private sector. It never works. It's socialism. It's never worked anywhere before. So what are we doing trying to do it here?
But would you consider the fact that South Carolina's track record on bringing major projects into this state has a winning record, and therefore, again, commerce should be listened to rather than those people back in your district that may not have ever brokered a deal, may not understand what it means of being a project, may not understand economic incentives. So what you're suggesting is we should listen to the people back home in your district rather than the people at Commerce that have been successful at bringing these mega deals to South Carolina.
Mr. Rutherford, I don't think that you could have espoused a philosophy that disagrees more fundamentally than me. I completely disagree with you, and I think that you believe what you just said. But no, I 100% am going to listen to the people back home who I represent in this House. And you should listen to the 40,000 people in your area, and not the bureaucrats at Commerce, and not the lobbyists, and not the multi-billion-dollar international corporations. You should listen to your constituents like I am. So yes, I will always fall back on the common sense of the wonderful people from Taylor's and Greenville East Side, far more than I will ever listen to unelected bureaucrats, other representatives in here who have been here for far too long and have maybe managed a whole lot of these deals, and far more than I will ever listen to any member out there.
So, Mr. Morgan, we don't.
I love it.
Wow.
Right. Good guy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Again, I don't know who.
I
don't know who he's running against, but he's running for Congress. But we got to address the King's staff behind him. What is that, South Carolina? Has that always been there? I mean, I just don't remember that in my 5 years living there. But there you go. Apparently, King Charles.
Like what he said, though.
Yeah.
Like what he said.
Yeah.
Do you remember a time when vital medications didn't get rationed in the United States? Wasn't that long ago, really. Used to be something that happened in other countries, not in this one. Unfortunately, things just aren't that way anymore. This is just one more reason why you need to have the Jace case on hand. It is a series of 5 antibiotics that come in this pack, this handy case, and so you can knock out whatever bacterial infection that you come up with without worrying about whether or not amoxicillin is going to be available at your local pharmacy. Or if you go out of town and, you're on vacation or you're on a business trip and you get sick and you know what it is. You got a sinus infection because you've had it a million times. It's really easy when you're not near your pharmacy or your doctor to just get out your antibiotic out of the Jace case and use it and knock out whatever bacterial infection you've got. It's fantastic. Plus, you can get some great add-ons like ivermectin now if you want. Jace case. Go to jacemedical.com. Enter the promo code PAT at checkout, and you'll get a discount on your order. That's promo code PAT at JASE, jacemedical.com.
You're listening to Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right, I guess we got some answers on that thing behind the South Carolina representative.
Yeah, so the guy's name is Adam Morgan. He's running for Congress, and we noticed
standing in front of a king's staff or something.
We threw off the king, did we not?
It's a South Carolina mace.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's the video we got? Chris,
here we go. Go for it, Joe.
Okay.
And here's what it is.
At the beginning of each day's session in the South Carolina House, the mace, which is the oldest original mace still in use in America, is removed from its vault on the wall of the House chamber by the Sergeant at Arms. He places the mace on brass racks at the center of the main desk.
Why?
When the mace is in place, it symbolizes that the House is in session and that it has the power to make laws for the people of the state.
Done. Oh, wow.
Wait, hold on.
That's powerful. Okay.
When the mace is in place.
When the mace is in place.
At the help. That sounds like an Ace Hardware commercial. So hold on. So it has the.
It's If you want to make laws, the mace is in place.
Do we pray to the mace and then whatever it says? Is it a sorting hat for South Carolina laws?
And it's the oldest mace in North America in use?
Yes.
I think so. How old is it? Were they using it in colonial times?
Probably.
How old is...
If so, maybe she should have said that? I don't know. That would be kind of a cool thing. This has been used since the King George days, or I don't know, something.
Check this out. I Googled, how old is the South Carolina mace?
Yeah, okay.
The answer is 46 years.
Oh, please.
Come
That's the
on.
oldest mace in use?
Wait for the punchline.
Okay.
And a picture of Nancy Mace came up on my search.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, that came up on my search.
So let's just see here. What is the, let's see. How's a...
Wait, that's stupid, though.
Yeah.
I know. Thank you, Google.
The South Carolina mace.
Yeah.
Did you try that?
Yeah, that's what I did. Nancy Mace is from South Carolina, if you recall. Mate.
What a coincidence.
Let's see. Oh, no, that's the seal, state seal. Where is the... We got to find an answer to this.
Yeah.
Because
if it's from the English days, the colonial times, that would be kind of cool.
1756.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. 1756?
Wow.
That's cool.
Crafted in London by Magdalene Feline.
All right, that's cool.
Let's see here. The mace has been used in South Carolina legislative bodies with some interruptions since it was... Yeah. I mean, it was made specifically for the House Assembly back when it was a colony.
Go back to the sergeant at arms taking it out. Was he wearing gloves when he touched that thing?
Go back to there, Joe. Yeah.
You can't be touching an artifact.
At the beginning of each day's session in the South Carolina House, the mace, which is the oldest original mace still in use in America, is removed from its vault on the wall of the House chamber.
But he's walking like not officially though. That's way too like.
Oh, you think it should be like this?
It needs to be more like
I know.
It's from
more ceremonial.
More ceremonial.
That's almost 300 years old.
Yes.
Wow. That's kind of cool.
That is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Now I like it.
Yeah.
I like history.
Now we're back.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that you know it's historic,
from the colonial
times, came from this was from colonial times, 1756.
Right. Don't bury the. She didn't even. Never mind burying the lead. She didn't even mention that.
Maybe what we do, we re-record that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Take out her voice, add Pat's voice with how it should sound like.
Yes.
And send it to South Carolina so they can put it on their stupid website.
Yeah.
Here's how the better way to sell this.
And, okay, what's older, that mace or the video promoting it?
The video.
The video.
Good grief! Could we get a cleaner video?
The video was from 1633.
Seriously?
So,
what are we using there? What camera was that?
It was 3
Look at that.
megabytes, I believe it
3
was.
3 megabytes.
So.
It's the first digital camera.
Yes.
And they were like, hey, let's make a video.
I mean, seriously, that is old.
Look at those computers. Those are not modern computers.
Yeah.
Wow.
It makes for a cool backdrop when you're giving a cool speech like Adam Morgan.
True.
It is sort of weird, though, since we, threw off the chains of England and we still use their symbols. So it's weird, but it's historic. Back. It's really
Patty's
cool.
destroying it.
Yeah, don't destroy this. Yeah, no, South Carolina commissioned it.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
They didn't. It wasn't
All
like
right.
England said you'll use this in your state or sorry,
it's a spit on it's a spit on the king, right? Because look, we're using this to make our own laws. You stupid idiot.
Hey, look, he's bringing it back.
Yeah.
How do you keep that thing shiny? You know what I mean? Like, how often do they have to?
I don't know. You're not.
What do you put on?
You're not cleaning that with
best friend
pledge. You're not doing pledge on that.
You're
thing.
not putting pledge on that.
So I don't know what
you're sending
they
that to the museum.
Yeah.
Hey, people, come over here, clean this up.
I mean, that's cool. 1756. Wow. All right. This is an amazing story too. This Texas man who spent most of his 78 years in an iron lung.
Wow, Paul Alexander.
Built a large following on social media, recounting his life after contracting polio in the 1940s to earning a law degree. He just died. So I didn't even know about him, and now he's gone. We lost him. Paul Alexander died Monday at a Dallas hospital. According to one of his longtime friends. He said Alexander had recently been hospitalized after being diagnosed with COVID-19. How do you get COVID-19 in an iron lung? Wow. Was he vaccinated? Do we know? Maybe that's what killed him.
No.
But he was diagnosed with COVID-19, but didn't know the cause of death. So it wasn't necessarily from the COVID-19. But anyway, this guy, when he was 6 years old, started using the iron lung.
Yeah, he got polio.
Oh my gosh.
Polio did that to him.
Wow.
Yeah, but I mean,
it forced air in and out of his lungs. And in recent years, he had millions of views on his TikTok account.
Yeah.
Called Conversations with Paul. He loved to laugh. He was just one of the bright stars in the world.
And Congress wants to ban that app.
Yeah, right.
So he went to college. He became a lawyer. He had a special chair designed so that he could be wheeled in and out of court.
Yep.
He wrote a memoir with put that first picture back up, Joe. He had a stick, and then tied at the end was a pen. That's how he wrote his 155-page memoir.
Oh, my.
Can you imagine? I couldn't write my name with that thing.
No.
The guy was...
it's incredible.
How do people do this? I love that there are great people like this in the world.
That's incredible.
That have such great adversity and overcome with a smile.
70 years in an iron lung?
And that guy has done so much more.
I mean, I don't know that I could do that.
I don't know either.
I don't know if I could spend a day in that thing. I'm just too claustrophobic. No, thank you. No.
Well, for me,
you know what?
it would
just let me go.
Let
me go.
Lack of freedom is what would drive me nuts. Like, I want to walk to this other side of the room.
Nope.
Yep.
That is really something. Wow.
Yeah.
I've never heard of such a thing. 70 years in an iron lung.
And he lived here in Dallas.
Yeah. Weird. Wow.
And I'm like you, Pat. I hadn't heard that story until yesterday.
Had you heard it, Chris?
No, until yesterday when he passed. When he passed away.
Jeez. Wow.
Yeah.
Whoever gave him COVID should be ashamed of yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wear your mask.
Weren't wearing mask. Wow.
Did we ruin the story?
Yeah. We ruin every story. It's what we do. And you're welcome. You're welcome. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Far-left activist and one-time Christian pastor Sean King, who also pretends to be black, has announced that he just converted to Islam.
Okay.
In solidarity with Palestinians.
Oh, that's
at the start of Ramadan.
That's why I
This
make
guy
religious decisions.
Is such a pathetic attention whore. That is just so ridiculous. You converted to Islam in solidarity with the Palestinians?
What a weird take.
It's just so bizarre.
I wonder if he will jump off a bridge just in solidarity with fill in the blank.
Yeah, who knows? Probably. If it'll bring him attention, he probably will. Also, the Republican National Committee filed a lawsuit yesterday against Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, alleging that the state's voter rolls are inflated with ineligible voters. What?
Who could have seen this coming?
Apparently, in many counties in Michigan, they have more voters than citizens. Like 53 of the state's 83 counties have more registered voters than they have residents who are eligible to vote.
Nah, we're getting this fixed before November.
At least they're filing suit. Thank you for doing it. 23 other counties are also they also have suspiciously high voter registration rates of 90% or more. Nobody has that. Come on. The nationwide average, I don't know what it is, but it's not 90%. I'll tell you that. The RNC sent a letter to Benson in December notifying the state of 78 Michigan counties that are in violation of Section 8 and formally requesting that they correct the violations within 90 days.
Yeah, to refresh your memory, this is what voting looks like in Michigan. Right here, you'll see the Republican candidate for president in 2020, his vote totals. And then, oh my gosh, look what happened here. How did that happen? It's so natural. All these blue votes for the Democrat.
Huh. So are you saying something suspicious happened?
No. What? Where are you going? I don't get that at all, bro.
Okay. I got the wrong impression. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just I'm not good at math. You know this. I was just pointing out how they vote in Michigan.
Okay.
Because you were doing a Michigan vote story.
Right.
And so I thought I would just refresh people's memory because it's totally going to be fixed this November.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're trying, right? At least they
I like to
filed
see
suit.
that. Seeing a story like that
Thank
actually
you.
gives me some hope.
Yeah, me too. Me too, because this was a problem in 2020. This was what people were one of the things people were complaining about. That and the drop boxes that were being stuffed.
Okay, do you recall, after 2020, what did the state of Georgia do? They said, oh my gosh, let's get rid of these. We got to purge these rolls. This is crazy, blah, blah, blah. And what happened? Oh my gosh,
the
Georgia's
Democrats
racist. Let's pull the Major League Baseball All-Star Game out of Atlanta.
Oppression. You're trying to suppress the vote.
Doing this is what got the baseball game pulled out of Atlanta.
Oh, right.
Because, gosh,
Well, and the voter ID laws.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, just voter ID. What do you... Why do 80% of blacks support voter ID if it's discriminatory and racist? Why? Doesn't make any sense. I don't know how they get away with that. With the voter ID thing, it's incredible.
Nothing makes sense in this country anymore.
So how are your allergies doing right now? Are they going wild?
I'm miserable.
Are you really? So you have a problem with...
I'm miserable.
I'm dying every night.
You too?
Everybody I know is like this.
No,
I'm not. I don't have allergies.
Well. Joe has to get 2 shots every week. His allergies are so bad.
Really? Oh, that's
down from 4? Wow. No, I mean they've hit me. Yeah, like they hit other people much worse than they hit me.
Yeah.
But it's been bad enough for me. My eyes have been burning and my nose has been itching. Yeah.
So it happens because spring is starting to awaken
because you got
here
all,
in Dallas.
All
the pollen and
all the trees.
My wife can't go outside. I showed
damn bees. If we could just get rid of all the bees.
The bees know.
We wouldn't have the bees know.
Well,
they do.
No.
And they're spreading it. And they're making people sick because of it.
Well, and we've talked about, you see, okay, every problem you face does tie back to the government. Usually the federal government.
Or the bees.
But definitely the government and the bees. But no, in case of your allergies, it's more the government than the bees, because you'll recall in the 50s, we've talked about this, Pat Gray, where they tried to beautify American cities in the Civil War, the engineers, right?
Yeah,
they planted the dadgum trees.
Oh, right.
They said, hey, we can beautify your cities across this country. Let's plant these trees. And the kind of trees they planted are the ones that send out the little seed that get in your eyes and your nose. So maybe your town's beautiful, but boy, you're miserable now here 50 years later, aren't you?
They didn't get me, though. Why don't I have allergies like
white
that?
Privilege.
I'm so glad.
White privilege.
Yeah.
Is
it's
it?
White privilege.
Yeah.
Keith is white. He doesn't have that privilege?
No.
It's only granted to some white people? Okay.
That sucks. My body doesn't realize I don't have to suffer.
It's selectively white
It's
privilege.
bro, why am I not exempt from this suffering?
That's not good.
So anyhow, it's the government that planted trees. The end.
Put up the map about where the worst allergy locations, and of course, Dallas is right there. Number 2. The second worst allergy destination in the country after Wichita, Kansas. Wow. Okay, so it's Wichita, Dallas, Scranton, Pennsylvania, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Sarasota, Florida, Cape Coral, Florida, Orlando, Des Moines, Greenville, Virginia Beach, of course, Houston.
Look at Florida.
Little Rock, Miami, Lakeland, Raleigh, Palm Bay, Florida, Tampa, Florida, Greensboro, North Carolina, and Rochester, New York.
7 of the top 20 are in Florida.
We have 2 of the top 15, right?
Yeah, Dallas and
Houston. That's it. Dallas and Houston. All right.
Boy.
So if you're really suffering right now, that's why. You're in a bad allergy location.
Yeah, that sucks.
You know it's not there? anywhere in the Northwest.
Right.
The Northwest is completely free of that. In fact, almost the entire western United States is free of the allergy thing.
Could it be like the weather? Too cold?
No, it's plants and whatnot.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a trees. Trees.
It's a government conspiracy to give people allergies.
Trees.
Well, there weren't big cities over there in 1950s.
Okay.
So they didn't plant those troublemakers.
See?
All right. It always goes back to the government.
It always goes back.
Always goes
I will post this on Twitter so you can see what I'm talking about, and then you can share it with your friends.
We believe you.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like it.
And you can share it at parties this weekend.
I'm getting a
you're
vibe
gonna be the live of the party.
I'm getting a vibe on this side of the room.
Vibe? No,
He's not
I'm
believing me.
with you on the whole
government
allergy conspiracy.
I'll find that tweet.
We're gonna do
I'm on
an
it.
entire 2-hour episode.
Right? There's a Friday show right there.
Right there.
Find an allergy expert.
I will find it.
About the female trees that they planted back in the 50s.
In the American cities to destroy us 50 years later.
Yep.
I'll find it.
Which, by the way, for someone that believes the government is so incompetent, you think they really planned that out?
No, I'm saying, no, you're not following me here. It's because they're incompetent that their goal at beautification turned into a nightmare for allergies.
You're not saying that they gave people allergies on purpose.
No. No,
okay.
I'm saying their
All right.
incompetence at governing has led to your allergy suffering.
Because that was one of my things on 9/11. You know, the incompetence of the government, and yet, man, did they pull off that 9/11 conspiracy so
good.
well?
Yeah.
You know, they planted all the explosives
at the right spots.
In the right spots at the right time. Nobody knew about it. They did a total remodel job of the World Trade Center towers, and somehow brought that down perfectly. Just as planned, these incompetent buffoons. So on the one hand, George W. Bush was the worst of all time, the dumbest ever. And on the other hand, a diabolical genius who brought down the World Trade Center. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I hear you yucking it up.
Which is it? Which is it?
So,
can't be both.
When
right?
are we doing the 9/11 show?
I don't know. Soon.
I believe it's after the summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's in the summer?
After the summer.
Okay. Oh, after summer.
No.
Yeah. Right?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be June.
And then, but we do have to look into because this could be part of it. The Alex Jones thing we talked about yesterday.
Yes, and I am in contact with 2 different people.
Oh, okay.
And
hold on, time
his
out.
office is waiting.
Let's have Alex
plan everything
Jones do the 9/11 show. Can you handle that? Oh my gosh.
Oh, that'd be agonizing, but maybe.
I think we just do more than one. I think if we do, we'll give him what we said. Give us your best.
He could pretty well cover every conspiracy.
What do you want to talk about, Pat? Anything you got? Ask your questions.
Yes,
100%. 100%.
He could. And it all goes back to the Gulf of Tonkin.
The Gulf of Tonkin.
I mean, you joke about the Gulf of Tonkin, but I mean, I don't know why you just do that.
Get him started.
Is that where the trees came from?
Oh, I swear.
Yeah, everything emanates from the Gulf of Tonkin. All right.
Actually, everything emanates from Spanish-American War, but nice try.
So way before.
Oh, yeah.
Way before the Gulf
USS
of Tonkin.
Maine.
All right. Okay. Whatever happened to the Texas border standoff? Was there a Texas federal border standoff? You can join Jason Buttrell and the Blaze Originals team on a road trip with the Take Our Border Back convoy to the front line of the border crisis as they uncover what was really happening during Governor Greg Abbott's fight against the federal agents. Our team reveals the story the mainstream media didn't want you to know. Jason and the Blaze Originals team found an alarming way around the Texas National Guard border blockade to show viewers what's really going on. Media coverage of Eagle Pass painted an alarming picture of what's going on at the border. But the truth is even worse. Blaze Originals reveals that the elites on the left, the right, and in the media all have something to gain from the border crisis and why those interests make it appear impossible to actually solve the problem. The mainstream media's narrative didn't pan out on the Eagle Pass crisis, and the Blaze Original team shows why. 85% of people reaching the border are coming into America. It's the highest percentage ever. That seems like a border crisis to me. From a conservative estimate, I mean really conservative estimate, 5.5 million people have illegally crossed the border into the U.S. in the last 36 months, which is an all-time high. It might actually be double that figure. Go to therealbordercrisis.com, use the promo code BORDER, and get $30 off your Blaze TV subscription. Okay, so again, it's blazetv.com, therealbordercrisis.com. That's where you should go right now, therealbordercrisis.com. Use the code BORDER and get $30 off your subscription.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right, so I'm seeing there's multiple articles on the internet here. Let me just read a bit from one.
Concerning trees?
Trees causing your...
All right.
The government...
Allergies.
Causing your allergies.
All right. Let's hear it.
I hear laughter in the other room.
I do too.
Don't care for that. I do too. Okay.
Do you feel like you're being mocked a little bit?
Yeah.
I mean,
Here we go. Robert Siegel. All right.
Uh-huh.
He's a guy in like an NPR piece. He says, the reason that there's so much pollen in the air is that there are so many male as opposed to female trees.
Male trees.
Yeah, think of the
it's
tree
not the
sperm.
female
Yeah,
trees.
okay.
Yeah.
Female trees and plants around. Is that right? Okay, that's the question. He asks Ogren, who replies, that's right, Robert. In urban landscape, there's virtually no sexual diversity. It's the dudes. It's always those dudes. There's a big preponderance of male trees and shrubs and a scarcity of females. When discussing this proliferation of male trees, Ogren reports and reporters often include one detail as evidence for the theory that the 1949 USDA Yearbook of Agriculture, the government, recommended planting male trees only. This advice was given to readers when used for street plantings. Only male trees should be selected to avoid the nuisance from the seed. I don't know all that. Like you asked, like why? Like I think the females. Let's see. Do the females drop the deals and everything, and it's harder to clean up? But the males are the ones that shoot off the stuff.
I don't
that's
know.
what gets in your nose.
I don't know. That
See?
could be.
This is so
It's
much
an
information.
allergy
it's too much
epidemic.
information,
What is the
really.
person that handles like tree arborist? Do we need to have one of those people
Arborist?
come? Arborist? Do we need to have one of them come in and explain to us how trees have sex?
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
At night when you're sleeping.
Yes.
That's why when you wake up early like we do, whoa, the things we see driving in.
Incredible.
Whoa, those trees are at it.
3 a.m., man.
Let's see
Peak
here.
time.
I'm just, I'm looking here, see if there's any more good stuff from this.
But it was the male trees,
It's
not
a
the
male
female
trees.
trees.
Yeah, it's the male trees.
Okay.
Obviously.
Did
it's
they
always-
even know that this was a possibility,
I don't
though?
think so.
They
I don't
probably
think
didn't even
thought this-
understand that
No,
in
it was something where they
1949.
were trying to, and people are probably chiming in right now on Twitter. I'm
sure, yeah.
That I would love to know that, like, it had something to do with not having to go in later and sweep up all the messes that, like, the chicks make. I think it was something like that. That's not the article that I remember reading. But anyway.
But that was the problem. Okay.
That's the problem. Your government.
Fortunately, there are some TV commercials now that are gender neutral. They're not male. They're not female. They're neutral. And that's what we need to have. Then they're not spewing anything anywhere, right? There's just no problem.
That's a good point.
When everything's gender neutral. Check out this gender neutral TV commercial.
Rated for big kids, sensitive skin, and still developing hair. It's easy squeezy. I can do it. Because every can-do moment leads to another. A ballerina astronaut? Awesome!
All right.
Filipino kids. I can do it.
See, it's a little boy.
Yeah, a little ambiguous there. Is it a boy or is it a girl?
Yeah, well, I think it's a boy in a dress, but he's also a astronaut. He's astronaut ballerina, as we learn.
Astronaut ballerina. Yeah. And why not? You can be that if you want. There's a lot of ballerina astronauts. A lot of them. So that's great.
Oh my gosh,
that's great.
Sorry, I'm still reading up on trees and.
Is there more?
Yeah. No, I'm confirmation all over the place.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what's contributing to your allergies right now.
Your government. Yeah.
Okay.
1949 USDA
But again,
yearbook.
accidental, not on purpose.
Accidental, right?
Yeah, I have at no point thought that it was
okay.
A plot.
Malicious.
It was just incompetence from your government. Shocker, right?
Yeah, that's not shocking. No. Also, disgraced Bud Light pitchman Dylan Mulvaney has a new gig as a pop singer.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Go
You ready,
away
Pat?
for
You
good,
ready for
bro.
this? Are you ready? I don't think you're ready for
Probably
this.
not. Probably not, but let's see it. my God. Oh, good golly.
Oh, whoa. What was that? What was that? I'm serious. What was it? Oh. Wait. We should have warned the audience.
The days of girlhood from a guy. Why?
Stop. Please. Just stop.
So is this being played like on MTV?
Is MTV playing video?
MTV? What is MTV?
Is it being played somewhere?
Social media is where I found it.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh. What was this move that he did? Was he like starting a weed eater?
Yes, the weed eater. Yes.
Yes.
That was an odd dance move.
Hey, I blame all this on the Book of Mormon musical.
Okay.
Really?
Yes, because Dylan Mulvaney started his stardom at the Book of Mormon musical.
Oh, really?
So I blame that.
Mocking the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
So I blame.
That's good.
I blame the
That's
musical.
great.
Look at that.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that musical, he would not have gotten his stardom.
In recent decades, city planning strategies have promoted the masculinization of the urban forest, planting male trees over female trees for their litter-free characteristics. See? That's it. The chicks drop the stuff.
Okay.
So they're like, we don't want to clean it up. Let's plant the male trees. The male trees then ruin your life with the allergy stuff, the pollen.
Okay.
How was Georgia not on that list? I grew up with green, yellow film on everything.
So
you lived out west. You got lucky. You didn't grow up in the southeast.
No.
That was just a ritual, man. Ugh.
Grew up on the mean streets. A lot of people wouldn't consider that lucky.
No.
Keith. A lot of people wouldn't consider that lucky.
I guess the feminists are right. Man ruined the world. And look at this.
I will say that during this time of year, though, the pollen on our outdoor furniture stuff is just unreal.
Yeah, and that's
it's like half an inch thick sometimes.
That's what's so weird is that in Dallas, we have that light film. In Atlanta, it was much thicker than that. And they're not on this top 20? That's...
No.
Come on now.
I don't know.
I think the kind of pollen here, I think is smaller. And I think that it just gets into the nose and whatnot and the eyes easier. I don't know.
Maybe.
More allergy talk.
It's like COVID-19 sneaks through your mask.
See?
That's what it is.
What if you double mask? Then can you avoid the allergies?
You'll have to ask Anthony Fauci because he often does.
Oh, gosh.
He often does double mask.
If you haven't subscribed to blazetv.com/Pat, you need to get over there and see the back and forth we did with Anthony Fauci yesterday of him contradicting himself on everything.
It's really incredible. It's really incredible. I mean, we knew it happened at the time and we talked about it. But when you see it all lined up for 5.5 minutes,
when you condense 3 years into 5 minutes, you're like, you son of a bitch.
I mean, seriously, criminal activity.
Yeah.
From this guy.
How many people died because of him?
Way more than needed to. That's for sure. Way more than needed to.
And not only just, we could do this.
And he considers himself a hero.
Oh gosh,
which is great.
Yeah, and it's not just for the early on stuff with the mask hypocrisies, but it just continued. The vaccines and so on, and oh gosh, this guy.
Well, and they still haven't fully admitted to the problems being caused by the vaccine, and we all know that. I mean, they've admitted to some of it. They've admitted there are problems, but they have not admitted to the extent of it yet. That's still to come, and they will. They'll be forced into it because there's no way to hide all this. It's going to come out as it has slowly but surely over the last 3 years. It's all coming out. Hunter Biden is apparently not coming out. He declined his invitation to testify on Capitol Hill. I thought he already said yes, he's going to.
Well, remember, he did the behind closed doors thing. He did that where he forgot or didn't know or declined to answer everything.
Then they invited him to appear at a public hearing.
Yeah, that's just out in public.
Yeah, and he's not going to. He's like, no, thank you.
Yeah, now he can say, I've answered their questions.
Yeah, I already did this in a closed-door deposition before the House Oversight and Judiciary Committee.
Which we all know is less impactful than actually doing this on C-SPAN or out, in public.
Is this guy ever going to pay the price for what he's done? I don't think so.
No,
I don't think he will. I don't think his dad will.
I think he's doing a court case for the federal gun charge, if I'm not mistaken. Remember that one judge said, I don't think we're going to let this one go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just like with anybody with the last name Biden and Fauci and fill in the blank. I mean, there's not going to be any repercussions. There's not going to be any kind of justice here. These people get away with everything.
Yeah, they really do.
And it's easy to see why you lose hope in the system because it sucks.
There is some hope, though, and we've got some help in our representatives in office, like Barry Loudermilk, who's speaking out right now and wondering where all the outrage is about Steve Baker's prosecution. I love the fact that he's speaking out about that. Nobody else is really talking. Well, I mean, we've talked about it. But who is really on this? And why aren't people pissed off about a journalist being prosecuted for doing a job that journalists do? Following a story, reporting on it. And thank you, Barry Loudermilk, for realizing that Steve Baker is being wrongly persecuted and prosecuted because of it. And arrested, of course, back on March 1st. They put him in handcuffs and leg irons, transported him with armed agents, arraigned him on charges. The Justice Department refused to disclose until he turned himself in. Turned out it was 4 misdemeanors. How many people has the FBI ever put in leg chains for a misdemeanor charge?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Steve's back in front of a judge today.
Is it today?
I think it is.
Okay.
It's a Thursday.
Man, oh man.
Today. I'm pretty sure it's today.
All right, well, we got overtime coming up. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.